Finally finished my Morphin. Now we move on to Zeo. After a recap of the finale of last season, including the command center getting bombed, it's destroyed, the Rangers made it out, but their morphers were damaged in the explosion. Rita and team celebrate their victory until a mysterious robot appears, giving them a message from the Machine Empire saying Dark Spectre has blessed them with the rights to this territory. Consider this an eviction notice. Rita laughs it off that this isn't an eviction notice, and then the palace starts shaking because they're under attack. So they'll be out by noon. With the Rangers, they're suddenly stuck in place and lowered into a mysterious chamber. As the command center starts reforming, we see the villains making their escape, and oh no, the Machine Empire got Baboo! Ivan Ooze stole an RV they can hide out in. And Zed mentions he's glad he hid the location of Serpentera so the machines can't get it. Rita thinks they forgot something. No, they forgot our staff at the palace, but no time, they have to flee. Two other things they forgot was Goldar and Mordant, who planted the bomb in the command center but didn't teleport away in time, sending them flying all the way to Central Angel Grove. Goldar is holding a fake Zeo crystal that crumbles in his hand. Also, his wings were burned off in the blast and both of them have amnesia. Just as Bulk and Skull find them and finds a use for them. Of the Rangers, they found a backup command center. Oh, Zordon, you doomsday prepper. What's next? You got connections to the government? A secret apprentice that used to be your Black Ranger? Anyway, he explains this new threat as the Machine Empire, the former war machines of the United Alliance of Evil that grew sentience over the millennia, conquering the farthest regions of the galaxy. And now they're here. Emperor Mondo, the cunning and ruthless Emperor. Machina, his sinister wife. Their prince, Sprocket, and with the royal family is Clank and Orbis, those robots that evicted Rita and Gain. Clank's the royal advisor and tutor for Sprocket, and Orbis is the small court jester. Both of them are also generals leading armies of self-replicating cogs, their foot soldier for the season that sometimes comes in purplish, reddish, gray. The Rangers' morphers are still damaged, and Ninjor had to leave to Aquitar to help them fight the Machine Empire. But hey, we still have the Zeo Crystal, so snapping into some bits, and we got 5 new powers. Awkward, Billy, sorry. Well, can't feel too sorry right now, because the Machine Empire is still here and attacking. So with brand new gear, brand new suits, it's morphing time.
Zero Ranger 5, red! Zero Ranger 4, green! Zero Ranger 3, blue!
Zero Ranger 2, yellow! Zero Ranger 1, pink!
Power Rangers, CO!
So we get enough time to show off the Rangers' new gear. And with the new powers comes new Zords that take out the machines pretty quickly. So in episode 2, Mondo orders painful surgery on Orbis, and this is because he can now turn into a ball that Clank can spin around and toss at a monster to make him grow big. But luckily, the Rangers form the Zeo Megazord. And each Ranger can take turns becoming the main pilot, switching out the helmets for different effects, which is something that you think would be more important and I would really want to do in unique footage, but there's only so much you can do. And given how strong the Zeo powers are, they can only remain morphed for 3 hours at a time before it starts hurting. And something about Zordon mentioning that Titanus was able to fend off a Machine Empire invasion, but took all of his power, so he has to recharge, which can take literal decades. So he goes into hibernation, hiding his island away in fog. Rocky, as the new Blue Ranger, has a little bit of an inferiority complex because he's the new Blue Ranger, walking in Billy's shoes. He's just not as smart as Billy. But Billy himself and Adam help him grow past this. That he's his own person and he's smart in his own ways. And Rocky even helps Adam learn how to dual wield both their weapons. Billy this season graduates from high school early, and he feels a little disappointed that he doesn't have powers anymore, but he's still glad to help the Rangers, even in a reduced role. For some reason, he keeps disappearing randomly throughout the season, but he does build a giant wheel that Tommy runs in, which isn't silly at all. He even gets a robot mode later. Tanya is the new member of the team. Being from tribal Africa, she's not familiar with modern 90s American slang or technology, which leads to some comedy, but Kat helps her understand stuff, and even Adam helps her feel a part of the team. The former loner has now become the most friendly guy, even becoming close friends with Bulk and Skull, even helping Skull overcome his embarrassment of his piano skills.
I don't want anybody to laugh at me.
They won't laugh.
Well, what about Bulk?
If he's really your friend, he'll be proud of what you can do.
So during the talent show, Skull shows off that he's a classically trained pianist. Throughout the episode, Bulk was saying that classical music is so lame, but actually hearing Skull perform, he gets it now. They still work as junior cops. Their superior officer, Lieutenant Stone, becomes more of an active threat to the Stooges. Meanwhile, Tommy is dealt the emotional gut punch that Kimberly's breaking up with him over a letter. She doesn't regret ever dating him, but they've just grown apart and want different things in life. It hurts Tommy, but he eventually grows to understand. Then at a time before the modern internet, it was impossible to have a long-distance relationship. Kim wants to focus on gymnastics, Tommy doesn't know what he wants to do in life. Plus their lack of communication, and Tommy getting jealous about Rocky, spending time with her, it just didn't work out. Adam and Kat know a good way to cheer him up because it's the 90s snowboarding. Meanwhile, Mondo seemingly surrenders, But this was a distraction, so their new robot can siphon energy from the Zeo Megazord and thrash it. But luckily, Billy was designing a new mecha, the Red Battlezord, inspired by Aquatar technology. But Mondo attacks, burying the mech under a bunch of rocks before they can get into it. So the other Rangers deal with that, as Tommy uses his future paleontologist skills to unearth the mech, and alright, but because it's Aquatar technology, it has to psychically link to him, and Tommy's just not having the greatest day, so it's not really working, but, relax, think of nature, think of your friends, and now we got it. It's a boxer bot with Gatling guns. In the next episode, ironically not Rocky, but Adam helps him learn how to box better. It can combine with the Megazord, and even Billy designs a cannon inspired by it. And throughout the season, Tommy starts getting better, and he starts actually trying to date Kat. You do remember I used to be a cat, right? Yeah, but with cloning and time travel, I'm my own great-grandfather. Alright, don't gotta compete. During a heritage project, Tommy wants to do something about Native Americans because he's 12.5% Native. And speaking about Tommy's past, he meets a guy named Sam Trueheart who kind of resembles that Native American man who helped him get the Zeo Crystal in the past. Tommy gives him a ride home, and Sam doesn't really believe his visions, but he kind of resembles his stepson. And when asked where does he live, he gives the typical indigenous answer.
Where do I live? I live where the land meets the sky, where the eagle and the raven fly free. I live under the sun and the moon.
Just messing with you, cuz the house is just outside of town, Skoden. There Tommy meets his stepson, David, and wait a minute. After putting some pieces together, Tommy realizes that David is his long-lost brother who was adopted separately than him. But before they can do this and catch up, David gets kidnapped by the Machine Empire. So in between finding David and fighting, Sam teaches Tommy about indigenous culture, which Tommy doesn't know anything outside of the movies, which are super wrong, so he has to get schooled. Tommy even makes a traditional Wapo basket, but it's like his colors, green, white, and red. So in class, skipping over to time-traveling great-grandfather, his great-grandmother was a Wapo, who refer to themselves as the Michelle, who've been living in the Northern Californian Valley for 10,000 years, one of many, many, many tribes of Native Americans in California. Before Spanish, Mexican, and American colonization, the Wapo people are best known for their very tight baskets that you can even pour water in. Tommy gets an A, and also he reveals that he's a Power Ranger to David. Bulk and Skull accidentally get Officer Stone fired, but it turns out Stone actually wanted to leave anyway because he wanted to be a detective. Bulk and Skull joins them. And then a mysterious pyramid appears in Angel Grove. The Rangers aren't doing too good against the machines, but then what the? A new Ranger? Holy! And he's got super speed and lasers and stuff. And Pyramidas, the carrier Zord that has its own robot mode, and everyone can file into the back of it, forming the Zeo Ultra Zord. And there's a big mystery of who the Gold Ranger is. Well, until Pyramidas is shot down and they have to take him to Command Center to heal. Rocky immediately suspects that it's Billy. He's always disappearing. There's no question that he's definitely... Oh, hey guys, what's going on? The Gold Ranger demorphs and reveals to be Trey of Triforia. He explains that he's the constitutional king of a planet called Triforia that's covered in Zeocrystals due to it being near a rift in space into the morphing grid. Trey and his family has defended Triforia like Black Panther. But Trey's also been having problems. Like recently, when he was shot down by the Machine Empire, he's feeling super weak. Triforians are able to split into 3 aspects of themselves. In Trey's case, courage, heart, and wisdom. But due to the strain of having to fight the Machine Empire, he's unable to reform again, and now he's even doing worse because of the recent attack. And the Gold Zeocrystal is a super crystal that's even stronger but even more strenuous. So he's been having to share the powers between a man named Ryan Steele, a confident hero who's been secretly helping the Rangers and fighting another threat in Northern California. He has 2 friends, but they went to Triforia to help. And the other person helping Trey, Oi, it's Jason!
Morphin' time! Gold Ranger power!
All 3 of them been tag teaming the gold powers, but now they're going to need a 3rd person. And Tommy knows just a guy, and after getting chased by the Machine Empire trying to not lead them to the command center, Oi, it's David! The 3 Treys hide out to heal, and we have our 3 technically Gold Rangers that can't all morph at the same time because too much gold energy is dangerous. As we go through the season, David's kind of jokey like Rocky, but he represents wisdom because he knows a little something or something out of the box to help the Rangers in fighting. Ryan represents courage, which causes him to butt heads with Tommy a few times, maybe being a little too courageous and jumping into danger without everyone. And Jason returning as the heart of the team, much like Adam helping everyone through tough times. Also, he's got a new girlie. Goldar and Moradin's memories start returning, so they take out their frustrations on Bulk and Skull, thrash the detective agency, and steal their bike. Meet back up with Rita and crew who've been hiding out on the dark side of the moon. And because the detective agency is now trashed, they don't have enough money to fix it, so they have to go beg for their jobs back with the police. As the Machine Empire discovered a new alloy to make their machines even stronger. The Rangers have a tough time, so they decide they can do something with the Sword of Power to copy the Gold Ranger powers to divide the Super Zeocrystal into new Super Zords and help them thrash the alloy factory. But Mondo doesn't care because before it was destroyed, they were able to create a super sword. Both Rocky and Ryan very impulsively try attacking Mondo, which doesn't go well. But luckily they're able to combine the Super Zords into the Super Zeo Megazord, a personal favorite of mine, and destroy Mondo. And with the Emperor dead, Rita and crew celebrate, his family is horrified, and even more so because a rocket flies in, revealing himself as Louis Kaboom, Mondo's brother who is seizing the throne, by strapping Sprocket to a rocket and shooting him to the Earth. The Super Zeo Megazord cuts the warhead off of it, but then it crashes into a car, and now David has to be Bomb Squad. Louis Kaboom introduces himself to the Rangers as Louis the Great. He has his own personal banner, and he's working with Rita and crew to design new animal-themed robots, and even Rita openly helps him as a new general, and Clank immediately swears fealty to him. Sprocket and Machina are okay, and they swear fealty for now. Then there's the episode where they send a robot skunk that eats garbage and then produces toxic fumes, which is so bad it knocks the Rangers out of morph. While being a big fart joke, it's also teaching the lesson of reduce, reuse, and recycle. Don't always throw things away, reuse them if you can. Then mysterious meteoroid falls to Earth, but the machines get it and have a key for it that unlocks it, and behold, I am Ulrich, the genie, emissary of the Morphing Masters, and ally of the Power Rangers. How may I grant your wish? Sprocket tricks the giant mechanical genie that the Power Rangers have turned evil. So after a miscommunication fight, Tree accidentally fell on some civilians, so Aura goes to save them, but Sprocket yells to not do that, which gets the gears turning in Ulrich's head to not listen to this little dumb robot and become his own master, saving the Rangers, and eventually saving Bulk and Stone, who were partially turning the gold from being melted down. And after that incident, Louis getting fed up with Sprocket, so duels to death, which goes about as well as you could imagine. So he exiles the remains of Sprocket and Machina. Unknowingly, Machina actually has a secret lab, and she uses parts from her late husband and Sprocket, as well as her own energy, to upgrade him. Back with the Rangers, they actually defeat Kaboom, and are about to finish him until they get attacked. Turns out by Archerina, daughter of Grand Duke Eridon, and wants to claim the Machine Empire. But Sprocket returns and wants a rematch against Kaboom. But Louis the Gray wants to finish the Rangers first, so he goes giant. But the Rangers defeat him with a Super Zeo Ultra Zord. But before he's destroyed, he sends a massive rocket to take everyone out by blowing up the sun. Well, Auric is able to stop it. Meanwhile, Sprocket and Archerina decide to solve their dispute by both getting married so they can both be Emperor and Empress together. And their coronation and wedding is televised to everyone. Oh, clank you opportunists declaring for the new Emperor. And Emperor Sprocket declares that he'll avenge his father and defeat the Power Rangers. Only a few episodes later, he's able to kidnap Jason. And Trey of Courage is upset about this, and he runs out into an obvious trap and also gets captured. Rita and crew actually helps the Rangers locate the planet they've been sent to undermine machines. Jason was mind-wiped, which leads to a Jason versus Tommy fight. But due to the power of friendship, they're able to snap him out of it. But unfortunately for the Rangers, Sprocket's able to absorb the energies from Trey of Courage, killing him and crippling Trey forever. But meanwhile, Bulk and Skull were accidentally teleported with them and accidentally Three Stooges their way into causing a slave uprising which cripples the Empire. Skull tells them they can hide out with his uncle in Tech City. In the series finale, oh no, Billy's now old because that thing he made last season to make himself grow up accidentally has kicked in more and now he's old. And it might cause him to age even more if they don't do something quick, so using the help of the Aquitar ninjas to give him some pure water from Aquitar, which sorta helps. Meanwhile, Finster's able to create a new staff for Rita, so they can help Squat make a new potion grenade to turn Cat's purse into a new monster, and it turns out to be super badass because it's basically invulnerable and reflects energy. But Sprocket uses the gold energy to create a new monster that's able to take over the Megazord. And they comedically teleport the purse monster to another planet to undermine Rita. So now the Rangers have to use the Super Megazord to fight the other Megazord, but Rita and crew find the purse monster, teleporting it into the Super Megazord, kicking them out, and then we ironically have two different bad guy teams fighting each other in the Megazords. Billy's aging is getting worse, but they also have two monsters and their Megazords to deal with. So we get an epic alien Ninja Ranger transformation with the Zeos. Zeos sneak into the Megazords and knock the monsters out. It's super awesome. They fight the monsters, who combine even, but the purse monster is too busy eating the gold energy from the robots, so they're able to take them out with all the Megazords. Emperor Sprocket is pissed, Rita is just laughing because they undermined the machines, but before they get into a fight, Archerina breaks them up. Look at how effective both Ranger teams were able to work together. If we actually work together, we can accomplish something. Billy sent Aquitar, and the Pure Water is able to help him, but he needs to stay there for a while for a permanent cure, and he's in no room to rush. And he might actually really like it hooking up with the Blue Aquitar Ninja Ranger. Trey of Heart and Wisdom healed enough that they're able to form back into Trey, minus their courage. Jason volunteers to give up the gold powers to help Trey, but that's not necessary. An aspect of themselves might be gone, but they now have 3 people to help them. So Ryan, Jason, and David are going to Triforia as new royal advisors and to help Trey adjust to just being 2 people. And we continue to Power Rangers Turbo, which I already did 2 videos on, so check them out, links in the description. But let me know your opinions down below, as well as hitting the like button and subscribe about this video.